Hello, my friends. In this video, we're going to talk about active techniques for energy efficiency. We'll start out by defining what are active techniques and then go into more detail about the two types, ways to make buildings and equipment run more efficiently and ways to generate energy from alternative sources. We'll finish up the lecture by tying this into the lead category, energy and atmosphere. In the last few weeks, we've been talking about energy efficiency from the point of view of passive design strategies. Now it's time to take a look at the active strategies, ways of reducing buildings' energy requirements through active technologies, all right, and also to meet any additional or remaining energy needs through power generation on site. Your textbook says this really well. It says, the bottom line is that we must design buildings that require as little energy as possible. And then we have to provide that energy in the most environmentally benign way possible. So how can we make buildings and equipment run more efficiently? Well, there's two major ways. The first is to design and specify efficient systems. All right. And the second, which I'm going to talk about not in this video, but later in the lead section, is a life cycle approach to thinking about and designing energy use. So let's start out by talking about those efficient systems. And we'll cover mechanical systems, hot water, lighting, and specifically lighting controls. Let's start out with the mechanical systems. What are mechanical systems? Well, that's the term for both your heating and cooling systems. And don't forget that this always includes the distribution, how that hot and cold air gets to your living space. So most of the mechanical system efficiency is firmly in the realm of the mechanical engineer. Right. But it's important for the design team in general to use passive strategies first to reduce the total demand for heating and cooling. All right. And then once you've done that, you can choose high efficiency equipment. You can make sure that you choose the correct size for your system and equipment. And the final tip there is to combine mechanical systems with different envelope strategies and make sure that you're taking advantage of some synergy there. Moving on to hot water efficiency. Wait, I thought we were talking about energy. Why are we talking about hot water? Well, it turns out that hot water systems are a significant consumer of energy in buildings. That is, we spend a lot of energy heating up our water. How much? Take a look at this chart, and this is specifically for residential work. All right, and it shows total electricity consumption broken down by what that electricity was used for. And you probably can't read it because it's really tiny, but right here, number 1, 2, 3 in line is water heating. All right, so it is a significant consumer of energy. So how do we make our hot water systems more efficient? Well, just like the mechanical systems, you want to use water efficiency strategies first to reduce the total demand for hot water, and therefore we make less hot water and we use less energy. Also, make sure to right size the system and the equipment. This is important. You need to insulate your hot water system. This includes the tank and the pipes. And in general, especially in residential work, you can take the temperature of your hot water system down a couple of degrees and save a significant amount of energy. Let's move on to our next topic, which is lighting. Lighting is very important for energy efficiency. Why? Because it consumes roughly 15% of the energy in all buildings in the US. Let's take a look. On the left, we have all commercial buildings. All right, and you can see that lighting here takes 17% of the energy consumption in these buildings. It's a large amount. Okay. Over here on the right, they formatted it differently, but let's take a look at the lighting. It's the fourth one down. For residential buildings, they consume, it looks like somewhere between 10 and 11% of the energy used in that building. So that's a large amount. Knowing all that, how do we bring that number down? How do we create energy efficient lighting? Well, the first step is to use daylighting strategies, all right, and reduce the demand for artificial lighting. All right, you're seeing a theme here. This is across all of the different categories. All right. The second tip here is to choose high efficacy lighting, and I'll show you what that is in the next slide. All right. And the third tip, this is very important, is to use lighting controls. So high efficacy lighting, what is that? What is efficient lighting? It turns out we want to select the type of light source and the specifics of the light fixture that give us the most lumens or the most light for the least amount of electricity or watts. All right, and that's called a lamp's efficacy. The other tip we had was for lighting controls. What are they? They are mechanisms that help us regulate a lighting system. They include switches, dimmers, timers, occupancy and vacancy sensors, and photo sensors. We use them to reduce energy consumption by basically turning off the light when it's not needed, and they also will extend your lamp life. There's a couple of major lighting controls strategies. Let's take a look. The first strategy is occupancy. All right. And this is the process of adjusting the light levels according to whether people are in the space or not. Okay, and we do this typically with occupancy sensors, but sometimes time clocks turn the light on and off at specific times. The next strategy is daylighting. And daylighting is going to adjust the light levels in a space automatically in response to how much natural light you're getting. Right? And we do this using photosensors. So we place photosensors in a space. If the photosensor senses that there's already a lot of natural light, it will turn the artificial light system off. The next one is called personal tuning, and this is a way for individual occupants of a building to control the lighting levels in their own workspace or living space. All right, so personal control of their task lighting typically. And we do this with dimmers, on-off switches, bi-level switches, or scenes. So lighting controls, why do we care about all those different lighting controls strategies? It turns out that using one or more of these strategies can reduce energy use for lighting in your building by 30 to 45%. All right, that's a large chunk that's definitely worth taking advantage of. All right, take a look at this chart. You can see the individual strategies that we just reviewed. And in general, how much savings you can expect. In this video, we just covered what are active techniques and then the different ways that we can make building systems and operations more efficient. Thanks, everyone.